The three baby penguins huddled together on the rocks, looking down at the loopy red algae covering the water. "Ew," said Leila, swishing her tails to try to push the algae away. "This stuff is so slimy." "What's happening?" Marina thought, appearing in the deeper water with Amaya and the other penguins. "Ew," she said as she spotted Affluvia. "I should have known." "Lovely to see you too, Princess Marina." Affluvia gave a mocking bow. "Oh, and don't think about swimming off to look for the golden pearl. My new pet has got its eyes on you." The siren sang a high note and grey triangle appeared at the surface, sending shivers down Leila's spine. A shark fin. She dug underwater to look. It was a hammerhead shark with bulging eyes on each end of its huge hammerhead-shaped head. Its eyes glowed with strange yellow light because the shark was under Affluvia's spell. When Leila surfaced again, Affluvia was laughing. "The golden pearl must be somewhere in the lagoon, because why else would you two legs be here? All I have to do is wait and you'll find it for me. But you better hurry up because my algae is spreading fast." She chortled and flicked her tail in the water. "Come on," Leila called to Emily and Layla. The girls splashed through the slimy algae-covered water and swam over to the others. Amaya and Marina were looking at the penguin paddling pool in dismay. It was already completely covered in red. "What are we going to do?" Emily said desperately, washing the gloopy algae off her arms in the clean water. Layla copied her, rinsing her tail. The thick red algae was in her scales and in her hair. It was horrible. "Is there any other way to get rid of the red algae?" Grace wondered aloud. "Can something eat it or—" Amaya shook her head. "Nothing can eat this type of algae. It's poisonous." "Poisonous," Leila squeaked. "It's all over me." "It's okay if you touch it," Amaya explained. "But if sea creatures eat it, they'll get really sick. If we don't get rid of it soon, nobody will be able to live here. The whole lagoon will be ruined forever." "If we get the golden pearl, we can use its magic to put the lagoon back to normal," Emily said. "We just need to figure out the riddle," Leila said. "Do any of you know where we could find some pirate gold?" Grace asked. "That's where the golden pearl is hidden." Amaya was surrounded by Pedro and the young penguins. They bumped all around her, looking worried. "I'm ever so sorry, but I don't know anything about pirate gold," said Pedro. Amaya shook her head. "The lagoon is really big and deep. There are lots of places that have never been explored. But I know someone who might be able to help." "Floriana." "Is she a mermaid?" asked Emily. Amaya laughed. "No, she's a giant tortoise. Her family has lived by the lagoon for generations. If anyone knows about pirates, it'll be her. But she lives inland. The trail is right up there." She pointed to a rocky path along the side of the lagoon. "There's no way we can get to her, I'm afraid," she said, flipping her fin sadly. "Well, that's okay," Grace laughed, "because penguins aren't the only two legs around here. Marina, can you make us human again?" Marina nodded. "I'll stay here and help Amaya with the penguins." She glanced at the red algae, which was creeping towards them. "But hurry." "We will," Layla promised. They swam over to the side of the lagoon and pulled themselves up onto the rocks. Marina nodded, then opened her mouth and sang a beautiful song to turn them human again. Water magic from the lagoon made these girls human soon. The water around them shimmered, turning their tails magically back into lakes. Grace clambered to her feet and helped pull the others up. Now they were all wearing pretty summer clothes and jelly shoes that matched the colors of their tails. It felt much hotter out of the water. Layla looked at the little penguins over the rocks. How long could they last in the sun without the lagoon water keeping them cool? They had to find the pearl. You are not fooling me, sea keepers, Effluvia shouted over to them from her rocky perch. That pearl must be underwater because it was hidden by a mermaid. I know it's in the lagoon somewhere. Layla ignored her. Come on, she said to her friends. Let's find Floriana. The girls scrambled over to the rocks and onto the path Amaya had pointed out. They had to push through the bushes and trees as they went. It was as if they were the only people that had ever been there. Maybe we are, Layla thought with a jolt of excitement. They followed the path in the baking sun. Layla was soon hot and tired. Phew, I wish we were back at the lagoon, she said, thinking of the cool water longingly. I really hope Pip, Speckles and Pebble are okay, Emily said, her voice full of concern. The thought of the penguins gave Layla a new burst of strength. They had to help them. There's a clearing up ahead, Grace thought. She ran on, then stopped in surprise. Whoa, she said. Layla and Emily steadied to a halt behind her. Layla gasped. I know Amaya said Floriana was a giant tortoise, but I didn't think she'd be this big, she whispered, staring at the huge creature in the clearing in front of them. All three girls could have sat on the tortoise's back, with lots of room to spare. The tortoise's wrinkly brown neck was stretched out as she ate leaves off a bush. Hello, are you Floriana? Layla asked. Who wants to know? The elderly turtle replied, still chewing. She finished her mouthful and started to move away, incredibly slowly. Layla followed her. We are the sea keepers, she explained. We are looking for a golden pearl. The mystic clam said that there was one here at the lagoon. The mystic clam? The tortoise stopped and gave a barking laugh. My goodness, he knew my great-great-grandmother, and I can't believe he's still around. I've heard stories about him since I was a hatchling, and that was a good long while ago. How old are you? Layla blurted without thinking. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. The tortoise turned slowly and peered at the girls with great wrinkly head. Her eyes twinkled with mischief. It's been a long time since anyone came to visit me, and no one has ever came all this way here to insult me before, she said, chuckling. But if the mystic clam sent you, I suppose you must be okay. What do you need to know? We need to find a pirate treasure, Grace told her. Pirates, the old tortoise shouted angrily. They used to eat giant tortoises. Did you know that? They would take us on their ships and have us for dinner on the journey home, she shuddered. They captured so many of my ancestors that we almost died out. I'm so sorry, Emily stroked her huge shell. That must have been awful. Don't worry, we had our revenge, Floriana said, her eyes twinkling again. My great-great-grandmother scared the pirates away from the islands by making them think they were haunted. She even hid one of their maps. They had a huge treasure hidden deep in the lagoon, but they could never find it again, she chattered. We need to find that treasure to get the golden pearl. said Grace excitedly. Please, can you show us where the pirate's map is? The tortoise smacked her lips together thoughtfully. We are not like them, Emily told her. We are sea keepers, said Layla. We promise to help all sea creatures. Please, toxic algae is spreading across the lagoon. Grace added, finding the golden pearl is the only way to save it. I'm sorry, the giant tortoise shook her head slowly, but I'm afraid the map is lost. There is no way to find the pirate treasure.